Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys. How are we doing today?
Hi, Jenny.
We're good, doing good.
Hi.
Skip, this is as close as I can get to a master's jacket. This is as close as I can get to get the green.
That is as close as you will ever get.
Trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying, Skip.
Purple ruined it, but that's okay.
Now you know what, Skip? Instead of saying, you know what, Shannon, you look nice today. I was about to give you a compliment. Like, Skip, look at Skip, breaking out another new suit,
Why
y'all
is
at home.
this show always about his clothes?
No, your clothes.
I think you look great today,
I didn't
Skip.
say a word about mine.
Okay.
Thank
No,
you, Jenny.
but you do
Thank
If you don't mind me asking, is that a new suit, Skip?
No.
You going to sit there.
This might be a new bow tie over
You
here.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
No one cares.
No
We seem to
one
talk about everything.
Can we talk about what everybody is talking about?
What are they talking
We're
about?
going to get to it, guys. We have a lot to get to on today's show. Does Kevin Durant have an attitude problem?
Yep.
And who should be LeBron's next coach? And then I think what Skip wants to get to on what the world is talking about.
Yep.
Tiger Woods.
Thank you.
He had the sports world in the palm of his hands yesterday when he won the Masters for the fifth time. It was his first major since 2008 and his first major win when trailing entering the final round. Here is Tiger on his historic performance and win.
I was very fortunate to be given another chance to do something that I love to do. But more importantly, I've been able to participate in my kids' lives in a way that I couldn't do for a number of years. I always felt I could do pretty much anything physically. But then for a while there, I just couldn't even walk. So now I'm able to play golf again and do it at an elite level again, which is something that I'm just very blessed to be able to have that opportunity again.
Skip, did you
Yes.
ever think that Tiger would win another major?
Just for the record, I covered my first Masters in 1979, and I wound up covering 20 Masters. And I covered Tiger Woods from the start at the Masters. And I'll be the first to admit, I had my run-ins with Tiger and his inner circle. And I will also be the first to admit that over the last 5 or 6 years, I probably said 1,000 times he will never, ever again win another major championship. And that's why yesterday for me was so miraculous that it got to be surreal watching him walk up 18.
It was.
It was so surreal that after I tweeted several things, I had to tweet one more time that I have to tweet this just to make sure it's going in my head right. Tiger Woods just won the Masters. Mm-hmm. He did? I woke up this morning, I said, did I dream that? No, that actually happened. In all my years of covering sports, I have never seen an athlete fall so far as Tiger Woods did and rise all the way back to the very top, not just to the top, to the very top of his sports, and beat as loaded a leaderboard as I have ever seen in Masters history. 6 of the top 10 players in the world finished in the top 10 at the Masters. He beat all the best,
right.
head to head to head to head. And I'm going to remind everybody, it was just less than 2 years ago you and I had to sit here, and I felt forced to do it, and talk about that sad mugshot as he got arrested for his DUI in Jupiter, Florida, and he thought he was in Southern California. He didn't know where he was.
Right.
And it was just 2 years ago, he had his 4th back surgery, and it was, you know this, the dreaded spinal fusion.
Yes.
And people don't come back from spinal fusion, especially in this game. And even Tiger has said repeatedly, I thought I was done.
That's what hold up. Did he say that?
Yes.
So the man in the arena did not believe that this was possible.
He did not believe it until he saw it, till the final 1.5 putt went in. I'm not sure he even bought what was happening.
Exactly. Okay.
Right? He had knee surgery. He had a neck injury. He had an elbow injury. He had a terrible double Achilles injury to the point that his former coach, Hank Haney, said in the book that he wrote called The Big Miss, that he thought Tiger had just about golf fatally torn up his body trying to become a Navy SEAL. He went through SEAL drills with the Navy SEALs trying to do what his father had done and become a military man. So not to mention one of the all-time scandals that befell him, has any athlete ever been more humiliated off the field or off the course than Tiger Woods?
Yeah.
Back in, as you remember, 2009 and 2010. He wound up having to go to some clinic in Mississippi for sex addiction, and it was about as public as you could get, right? He was he lived in the tabloids for weeks and months. And yet, yesterday, I got to tell you that as much as I've closely followed Tiger, that guy yesterday was as completely changed a man as I have ever seen, because I couldn't recognize him yesterday, and I'm talking about for the better. I'm going to remind everybody, when he dominated golf the way nobody will ever dominate it again, and it was about from 2000 to 2002, that guy was this big, bad, profane golf bully who just intimidated fields and overpowered golf courses. And along the way, he just spewed profanity, and it outraged a lot of people who love golf and a lot of mothers at home of all colors who said, you just can't talk that way.
The microphone would pick it up.
It would pick it up. Yesterday, that guy won the Masters without making a single eagle in 4 days. That guy won the Masters finishing 44th of 65 players who made the cut in driving distance. Do you remember when they had to Tigerize Augusta because he hit it too far?
They Tiger-proofed it.
Okay, so they Tiger-proofed it, and he finished 44th yesterday in driving distance. I didn't hear a single curse word yesterday because he won with patience and discipline and maturity. He won by playing safe. And I don't want to get too golfy here today, but the turning point of yesterday's Masters was the 12th hole, as it often is. It's as dangerous a par 3 as there is in the world, because you're hitting over water with a short iron with very tricky crosswinds that you can't see because the pine trees, and I've been there many times, they're so tall, they reach up into the heavens. So you can't.
Georgia pines.
It's Georgia pines. It's from your neck of the, so to speak, woods.
It is.
Okay? And you can't gauge the wind. So they had to play threesomes yesterday to beat the weather. So of the leaders going through there, 4 of them hit it in the water. Only Tiger Woods said, no, I'm not going to shoot at the pin. Molinari shot at the pin. Brooks Koepka aimed at the pin. You can't do it because the green falls away there, and if you catch the bank, it's going to roll back in the water. What did Tiger Woods do on 12? He just said, I'm going to play safe. I'm going to hit it right over the bunker into the middle of the green and leave myself a 40-foot putt, and I'm going to 2-putt for a par. He won the Masters basically on number 12. But for me, the most amazing thing of all was at the end, the guy who used to be known as a surly loner within the rank and profile of golf, that guy became as beloved a figure as I think there is in all of sports right now. And you could see it from the former champions who gathered with their green jackets on to congratulate him. Trust me, back in the good old days, quote unquote, nobody would have congratulated him because they'd be gone, because he was not a nice guy. And now he's become beloved by galleries. He's become beloved by all the other caddies. I've never seen anything like the outpouring of love for Tiger Woods, who completely won over the world by winning the Masters at age 43. And I am here to congratulate that man, because what he overcame, very few have ever overcome.
Very. Skip, I agree with everything you just said. I thought he could win a regular tournament. Hell, Skip, we just saw him win Eastlake, the final of the FedEx Cup.
The Tour Championship.
Right.
Yep.
We saw that.
We saw it. It was September 23rd. Kind of got lost in the NFL shuffle, but go ahead.
But that's not a major.
Nope.
That's not the Masters.
Nope.
That's not the Open, the British, or the PGA. Did I think he could put together? And what you need to do in order to win one of those is put together 4 good rounds. And that's what he did. On Thursday, Skip, I remember calling my sister. I said, man, Tiger left 4 birdies on the course. I just hope it doesn't come back to bite him.
But at least he didn't play his way out.
There you go.
2 under 70.
We've seen Tiger shoot 67, follow it up with 75, 76. We've seen Tiger go into, he's down 8 strokes, and then have a blistering final round, but because he's left himself so much distance, he's like, oh man, Tiger played well. If he'd have just played better those other 3 days. Skip, nothing said Tiger should have won this tournament. Nothing. You mentioned He was tied for 44th in driving distance. He was 44th in driving distance. He was tied for 47th in driving accuracy. He was 48th in putting. Nothing about that says you should win this tournament.
Except one stat.
He was number 1 in greens and regulation.
That'll work. That'll work.
I watched this press conference and I heard it. I listened, turned the sound on because I wanted to hear.
You watched with sound on? That's an upset.
Because, Skip, I wanted to hear what he had to say. He said 2 years ago he had this surgery. He said he didn't know. He said, I knew I was going to be around the game of golf, but I didn't know I was going to be a participant in the game of golf. I was just hoping I would be able to play golf with my son, Charlie.
Yep.
The man that's in the arena had doubts whether or not he can play. The last thing on his mind was ever winning another major. He says, I just want to be able to take my kids to school, take them to soccer practice, because I couldn't do that because my back hurt so bad. So he goes from that. You mentioned the mug shot. That was, May would be 2 years from that. We forget about that, Skip, because the scandal in 2009 was so great. There are not very many people, Skip, could have their life autopsied because it had it opened up.
I agree.
And everybody got an opportunity. Let that sink in for just a second.
Right.
The secrets that you would never, ever want to be revealed doesn't get to play out for maybe a family member or some close friends, but for the world when you're that guy.
Yep.
Very few people can ever walk what he walked. Michael Jordan knows what it's like to be Tiger Woods. Probably LeBron James.
He does.
Or Cristiano Ronaldo.
I would agree.
Knows what it's like to be that.
Yep.
And to have everything just for everybody to ridicule and to make jokes. Skip, you know, they had the jokes going for months and years. For him to do this, Skip, I didn't see it. I didn't see this coming. Everybody, I knew it was coming. Skip, the man hadn't won a major tournament since 2008. He hadn't won this tournament since 2005.
14 years?
And I'm supposed to believe.
14
His kids weren't born.
That's
the last time he won a
And they said, well, you saw him last year at the British Open? Yeah. And I saw his nerves get the better of him.
I did too.
But you know what? For the first time in a long time, Tiger proud, and some people started to feel it.
Think so?
They started to come back to him, Skip. He said Francisco Molinari opened the door at 12 when he hit it in the drink. But you also saw guys, Skip, all of a sudden you saw, I think I'm pronouncing it, Cantlay. He drops a ball, eagle.
Cantlay.
And then boom, he's in the leaderboard. And Shuffle, boom, he's in the leaderboard.
Yep.
And then DJ, boom, I'm like, come on. These guys are going crazy.
Yep.
Because Saturday, Skip, they dropping 64s and 66s. And I'm like, oh my.
It was the all-time shootout day.
Yes.
Was Saturday. Saturday was a birdie eagle day. Sunday was a par day.
Yeah.
Par making.
And these are not just some guys.
Yep.
These guys got major tournament victories on their resume.
Yep.
So they know this moment. They know what it's like to be in this moment. And Tiger was just so methodical. And I remember him, Skip, he got the lead, and he had 2 holes to go. I'm like, Tiger, break your driver. Take out a 3-wood rescue medal. Hey, par, let's go home and get this thing done.
Yep.
Because I remember, Skip, you remember, I don't remember what, maybe it was his fourth, or maybe it was his third or fourth one, where he had a 2-shot lead over Chris DeMarco. With 2 holes to play, and he goes bogey, and have to go to a playoff.
Listen, 17 and 18 have haunted him his whole
Yes.
career at Augusta. And then it was Chris DeMarco in a play.
Yeah.
You can handle Chris DeMarco. And so he birdies the first playoff hole and so forth.
And so that's what I'm like,
Yeah.
Tiger, just go ahead and do it. Because you remember in 99, Christian Valdivale. He has a 3-shot lead. All he has to do is double bogey, he's the champ. I said, Tiger, don't do this one. And I was like, and when he hit the shot on 18, Skip, I had no idea why he was playing it the way he was playing it.
Off the tee?
Yes.
Listen, if you can't see it on TV,
Yeah.
but it looks like it's about a 3-foot opening to hit it between the trees on
Yeah.
18. It is scary, especially if you got a 1 or 2 shot lead where you know if you clip a branch, you are done.
Not only must you maintain mental focus, but he's also watching the leaderboard. And he says he saw Kafka, I think it was Kafka, that birdied, parred the hole. So he says now, I can go bogey and win this hole. I don't need to be
He took
flawless.
his 3-wood out, which he's always trusted, and he hit what he calls a trap squeezer. He just traps the ball on the ground by hitting down into it,
Right.
and hits these low bullets, a little cut.
Yes.
And it barely hung on the right side of the fairway. He missed his second shot at 18, but he had a cushion. So he had a really sweet little clutch chip in there
Yes.
and gave him a putt that he almost made, but he had 1 to play with.
Right.
I turned to Ernestine. I said, I would probably miss the 1.5 because that's for all the marbles. It is hard, man.
All the marbles.
And it's got a little bit of subtle break in it. It is hard.
But just listening at him and then watch his son run up, because Skip, his last time he won a major, his daughter was 1. Charlie knows nothing about this.
Yeah.
He said it was great to see my kids see Pops win a major.
He said they only know me as a YouTube golfer.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Right?
now they get
Yeah.
a chance to see, hold up, why all these crowds following my dad? Why is everybody going crazy? Nobody before, nobody after would do this. As great as Skip, you remember Rory and DJ,
Yep.
as great as they are,
Yep.
how many times have you heard someone says Rory or the field? DJ or the field?
Never.
Kafka or the field?
And you will never, Kepka, yeah. Never, yeah.
They would give you Tiger.
Yeah,
I give you Tiger, and I take the field. Or you take the field, I take
There
Tiger.
were days, a lot of days I was on TV, we're doing Tiger of the Field.
And when
you
his-
know what? It was, a lot of times it was Tiger.
Skip, in his prime,
Yep.
he ain't missed cuts in majors.
Nope.
He didn't miss cuts. We see these guys now that's won a major and playing great, miss a cut. Before he got that injury,
Yeah.
and Skip, you remember last time, didn't you see him swing a club and drop to both knees? And I'm like, man, is this what it's called? Tiger's a shell of himself.
He was a shell.
A sh-
Listen, he even had, I don't know if you remember this, in 2014, we were at the Super Bowl and they played the Phoenix Open during the
Yes.
Super Bowl. It was in Phoenix. It was
Yeah.
going to be the Seahawks
Yeah.
Brady Super Bowl.
Yes.
And Tiger had the chip yips where you get the demons in your head. He couldn't chip the ball on the green at the Phoenix Open. He would hit
chipped it.
bladed chips and they would run through the green. And I'd say, this is an embarrassment. You got to stop.
Right.
You know, you can't do this anymore. And then he just lost his driver completely. And as he said last night, he said, I drove the ball this week better than I have in years.
Maybe
Years.
ever.
Maybe ever. Maybe ever. Because even in his heyday, he was so long, but it was 4 right and 4 left. You know.
Also, Skip, the difference between this course and every other course he's going to play. Guess what? He goes to the Masters. They don't put it in Atlanta one year, East Lake the next year, Rome, Georgia. It's always going to be in Augusta.
Yeah, he doesn't know it like the back of his hand. He knows it about like the front of both hands.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
But when you go to these others, yeah, well, he played there, but how long ago it's been?
Yeah.
Oh, he's played Bethpage, but that was years ago. He's going to go right back in 2020 and play the same Augusta National. They might put a tree here, might take a bunker there, or put some water somewhere, Skip. But that's for the most part.
I don't think they can Tigerize it anymore because they don't really need to.
No,
You know?
no. But the thing is, Skip, for him, Tiger Woods was 44th in driving. The thing that we love so much about Tiger, he was hitting it 40 yards past other people.
Yep.
Now he's in the back of the pack. When did you ever know when Tiger was in his prime, Skip? Tiger never hit first.
Nope.
Never hit first with his irons because he was way, way ahead of everybody else. Now poor Tiger now Tiger is the guy.
And he
that's
said
hitting
when he
first.
went in yesterday, he had to get his mind right that it doesn't matter how far you hit it. It matters how many. Not how far, but how many, right?
I had to let that go, Skip.
And by the way, I used to criticize him for this in his heyday when he would just overpower entire fields. He had one demon in his head. He couldn't win coming from behind on Sunday. He had never, ever won a major coming from behind without the 54-hole, the Saturday lead going into
Or
Sunday.
tied for the lead.
Or tied for the lead. And guess what he did yesterday? He won from behind. And it wasn't like, he didn't hit spectacular, memorable shots. He just didn't make any mistakes. He let everybody else make mistakes, and he rose while everyone else fell.
You know when I knew he was going to win this tournament? On 16.
Yeah.
When he hit it up there.
That was sweet. That was his best shot of the day.
And you remember, Skip, the one he hit it from the bunker, and he did that a couple of years ago, and it trickled back down, and Vern Lundquist, the great voice.
It wasn't from the sand. It was just from, he just chipped it.
Have you ever in your life?
And it went in. And it stopped on the lip so that you could see Nike for a second, and then it fell.
And then it was shaking like you were at a football stadium. You could see the cameras. You could see the people. I can imagine you heard that in Atlanta from Augusta, Georgia.
Yep.
So when he hit that shot on 16 and you see the ball all of a sudden, it starts picking up steam and it rolls back. I I said, Tiger. I said, oh, Tiger.
That
Oh,
was it.
Tiger. I said, oh,
You got it.
I said, he prowling.
That's called local knowledge because you played up high on the slope and let it trickle down to the cup.
Skip, like you said,
Yep.
nothing said he was going to win this tournament Saturday going into Sunday, given he had never, ever come from behind to win a major. And look at what he was doing as far as driving the ball, the accuracy in which he drove the ball, and his putting. Nothing said. Now, one guy believed it because he put 85 grand when Tiger Woods was at 14-1.
He won 1 point.
1.1. The sports books say they took a bloodbath.
They did. Yep.
They took one.
Because there's still a lot of Tiger fans out there, fanatics who blindly bet on him to win anything.
Absolutely.
And they were finally proven right.
Yes.
Last detail, and I tweeted about this on Friday. I had never, ever seen Tiger Woods chew gum on a golf course. And all of a sudden, he had a new habit. On Thursday, he was slowly chewing his gum. To keep his golf pulse down, keep his RPM lower, because in his heyday, he needed to rev up and try to crush the field. In this case, he needed to stay inside himself. He needed to be a little more Eldrick than Tiger, right? Be Eldrick. Slow down. Walk a little more slowly.
What kind of gum was that? Chantix? I mean, what going on?
I don't know. But it worked.
You see, Skip, that's what I did. I used to chew gum.
Did you?
Yeah, I didn't wear a mouthpiece.
While you were playing?
Yeah.
You never bit your tongue?
I needed to slow down. I didn't want to get too amped.
Really? Okay. Well, then you were doing it pre-Tiger, right?
I was.
It worked.
Pre-Tiger. But this was, Skip, you said it. I'm trying to wrap my mind around other great comebacks. I'm talking about where a guy this would have been the equivalent of Richard Nixon, having to resign the office of the presidency, and then becoming back and becoming a governor or become president again. Yes.
And become beloved. I'm not sure that could ever happen.
But for Tiger, the height at which he was,
it's impossible. It's just impossible.
Yeah.
And it's happening. And by the way, last quick point, I kept waiting for him to cry, and then it dawned on me, he's not going to cry. You know why? Because I think he thinks I'm just getting started again.
Yeah.
Right? This wasn't the end. This was just a new beginning.
Wow.
Let me ask you a question, Skip. Let's just say for the sake of argument, he didn't win this. How do you write a better script in Hollywood than what you just saw?
Well,
at 43, Jack was 46 when he won here.
And I was there, and it didn't measure up to this. Skip, Jack wasn't done. Jack wasn't a broken golfer.
Jack was just playing bad golf going into 86. He had missed a cut. He had dropped out of another. He was just playing bad golf. This dude was a broken man.
Yeah, he's a broken man.
Mentally,
I agree.
Physically, and emotionally.
Yep. This was it. This was all time.
He has captivated the country again for all the right reasons.
I'm gonna start playing golf.
And we are
for all
just
the right
watching
reasons.
for
I'm
all
gonna
the
start
right
playing
reasons.
golf, Skip. I think
Are you?
and
Well,
beat you
you'll
down.
never catch your brother.
I'll beat you though.
You know what? Any day,
beat you.
Just tell me when, and I'll be there. And bring your wallet, please.
I'd like to be there.
Okay,
Why you always gotta?
I'm there.
Why we can't bet due? Why we can't bet due?
No, we have to bet dollars.
No, we bet due.
This is serious.
You mentioned that Tiger was chewing some gum, so maybe the Warriors should get Kevin
You know what?
Durant.
That's a good idea. We should start.
That might help his game. We're going to discuss what he's been up to next.
No mercy.
Well, the Warriors took care of Game 1 on Saturday with a blowout win against the Clippers. Steph Curry had 38 points and passed Ray Allen for the most threes in postseason history, but the game got chippy in the fourth. Kevin Durant and Patrick Beverley got into it and both received technicals. Then a few seconds later, Katie bumped Beverley into the scorer's table and both were ejected. Let's take a listen to Durant on facing Beverley.
I've been playing against Pat Bev since he was at Arkansas, so I kind of know what he brings. He's a Chicago kid. Grew up and raised in the Chicago area, so those dudes play with a different type of grit, so I can appreciate that about Pat. That's his identity, and they support him with the Clippers. So for me, I know that coming into the series, so I thought it was fun tonight.
All right, Shannon, what did this incident tell you about Durant?
Told me nothing. Told me what I already knew. So he's become a lot more volatile. There's a lot more volatility with Kevin Durant since he left OKC. He had 16 techs into the regular season. They rescinded the last one. He got it because he got tossed the last game of the regular season. So he had 15 techs. And we've seen an uptick in him getting techs, him getting thrown out since he arrived in Golden State. So this told me nothing new about Kevin Durant. What it should cause some concern for the Warriors is that this game was a blowout, and he got tossed. What if the game's nip and tuck?
Yep.
Now, we know two guys we expect to be explosive, and this has been their behavior from day one. That's DeMarcus Boogie Cousins, and that's Draymond Green. But what we've seen is that Kevin Durant is kind of falling down, traveling down this road, and has gotten a pattern, Skip, that his trigger is real light. He will say things, the official makes a call that he doesn't agree with. It's not good enough. That's a bad call, ref. You know, he takes it a little step further where he wants to get the official attention, and the official wants to get his attention, and he's teeing him up. So I'm not surprised by this. Pat Beverly is who Pat Beverly is. You know what, Skip? Pat Beverly has to live in this world. He has to stay right here because he can't shoot the ball like Steph. He can't rebound the ball like Andre Drummond. He can't pass the ball like LeBron James. How does he have to play? He knows what it was like, Skip, traveling all over and playing in Europe and Israel and this place and the CBA. This guy got to play. I got to live in this world. What guy you know 6'1" says, okay, give me KD? What guy you know 6'1" says, give me LeBron, give me Paul George? Except the guy with that kind of mindset. Everybody don't want them kind of problems. He said, give it to me, I want it. So he's going to play in that, and like KD said, where he's from, having played against him before, I know what he's going to bring to the table. They're going to get swept, but Pat Beverly going to play KD hard, and KD will probably get another tech before it's all said and done.
I'm not so sure they're going to get swept. And to your point, I've got to underscore what you just said. A 6'1" guy said, give me that 7-foot monster.
7 foot.
Yeah.
What? And I'll bet he was just screaming in the pregame locker room, I want him.
Yes.
Doc.
Yes.
Give me KD. And he got him. And it was funny. I was just mesmerized watching it because he comes up to Kevin's waist. He's like bodying him up, and his head's at Kevin's waist.
Well, you see how he talking, Skip? He's talking to him, and he's looking up like this. Yeah,
What?
you doing all that flopping.
Yeah.
You flopping.
And he was pretty good. Kevin still did pretty well. He got his points. What did he wind up with? 23. Okay, 8 of 16 shots, but he didn't go for 60.
Right.
And yet, to your point, if you remember, going back to some OKC days, Kevin led the league in techs at OKC twice, as I recall. And in part, I think it was almost like put on techs where he didn't like his image and they tried to have a whole new Nike campaign.
Right.
Not nice,
Kevin,
KD,
period.
right?
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep.
So he would go out of his way to get unsolicited techs just to, he's trying to enhance his brand, almost like his street cred.
Yep.
But in this case, he just looks like, to your point, he's on hair trigger. It looks like he and they are ticking time bombs. And listen, Draymond had 6 turnovers against the Clippers, and DeMarcus, playing in his first ever playoff game, had 6 turnovers. Well, that's not good. That's a recipe to get you beaten, right?
Yep.
Listen, trust me on this, and I'm not overstating the case. Of all the games I've ever watched Steph Curry play, that was the best overall game.
I said the same thing.
Did you?
That was the best. That's the
Hey,
best
on both
playoff,
ends,
the
on
best
both ends.
playoff game I've ever seen him play. And he's played some good ones.
Oh,
But
has
this was unbelievable.
He just took the game over.
Yes.
He took it over on defense. He hit 8 of 12 threes. If he's going to make 8 or 12, you're going to lose.
Everybody getting swept.
So he actually saved their bacon the other night because if you look hard at that game, it was still a game deep into the third quarter, and Steph was just too much.
Yeah.
And finally, he just broke their will because 38, and he had a career-high 15 rebounds.
But
What?
Skip, the guy comes down the court. It's a 1-on-4 fast break. He pulls up from 35. The guy pushes him in the back. He makes it.
He did.
What are you going to do about that?
Say next.
Basically.
We'll see you Monday night.
But
right?
the thing is, Skip, the Clippers were in this ball game because you pointed to 2 important things. You have 12 turnovers between 2 guys. And that's a bugaboo for them. Sometimes they get really careless with the basketball and they let teams hang around or they keep teams in the game because they're so careless. Steph had 4.
He did.
So they're turning the ball over and they're allowing the Clippers to stay in this ball game. When Steph is this hot and they don't turn the ball over, they win by 40.
Oh, easy. It had been over in the first
Yeah.
quarter. And yet, Steve Kerr is walking this tightrope now with Kevin Durant because he can't step out of bounds because they want Kevin, obviously, to recommit to stay in Golden State.
Correct.
At least for a year to get them to their new arena across the bay. So after the game, Steve Kerr said, we took the bait. He took the bait. So he did call out Kevin. And he said, that's 2 technicals. You get 7. Your 7th is 1 game suspension, and it is. So he was pretty critical about you cannot take the bait. That's a bad trade for us.
Yes.
Because it was a bad trade.
Yeah, Pat Beverly versus KD.
Okay? So I was intrigued and impressed that Steve Kerr had the guts to go that one step like, we took the bait, he took the bait.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin won't like that because Kevin has the thinnest skin, and so he'll be a little bit angry.
Well, I had to find out. I had to find out the hard way that his skin is an onion. Like
you
onion.
did.
Yeah,
You
I found
did.
out the hard way.
Yeah, so have I.
Yeah,
Many times.
but you know what? Pat Beverly is who he is. Pat Beverly's not going to change the way he plays because Kevin Durant is all-time great. He's not going to change the way he plays because they're playing the Golden State Warriors. He has to live in that world in order for him to survive.
Yep.
And his survival is based on tenacity,
It is.
based on grit.
Yep.
And but how is he? Skip, the dude's 6'1", he's guarding a 7-foot player. What else is he supposed to do?
On any given night, Kevin could go for 70 on a 6'1" guy. I
Yes.
don't care who the 6'1"
Yes.
guy is. He's just too tall and too long.
Right.
And he shoots it too well. If they featured him against Patrick Beverly, he could just name his score.
But the thing that I love most about them is that they don't. Because that would be getting them out of what they do.
You are right.
And you know what? The Clippers was like, yeah, we want you to do that.
Yep.
We want you to become ISO ball and put it in a situation where Kevin Durant is doing the backup, the beat back down. That means the ball's not moving. That means Clay's not touching it.
Yep.
Steph's not touching it.
Yep.
And there's no ball movement. We like this.
Very good
and
point.
Considering Golden State, well, they don't fall into traps very often. Just that one. KD took that cheese that Pat Beverly had dangled out there in front of him.
Yeah, and I love what Doc said after the game. Pat's going to talk, and that's legal. It is. It is.
Yeah.
It's legal.
You
Can talk all you want to
Yes.
talk, especially man to man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm liking. I think the Clippers walked away with a little bit of a moral victory, where they felt like at least we got them out of who they are. At least we got Kevin to lose it.
Now KD gonna come back and drop like 35 on him tonight.
You think so?
Yeah, probably so.
I don't think so. If he does, I think it's going to be a photo finish game.
Kevin Durant dropped 35. You talking about a photo finish?
I kind of like the Clippers tonight.
You do?
I kind of do.
I better do.
I know that's
Just after
better do
this,
that.
just
one
getting their
one
head
single
on.
bottle.
I bet a
you owe
single
me
bo-
one single bottle.
So I would have bet that back that they don't be with it. They'll lose by double figures tonight.
Okay, you got to give me
I give you double figures, 10.
10. Okay, I'll take 10.
Okay.
10 for one bottle of
One
Diet
ball of
Coke.
Just
that,
one.
that ball of dude that I got to get that off the
You gotta
record
get that
before I
off.
start going to get the rest of it.
We could bet the $1 billion you owe me, but that's. I think I'm going to
That's
hang on
coming.
to that.
That's coming.
Keep
I've
it.
got that. It's gaining interest. By
I'm gonna get a case back when the Nuggets go to San Antonio. I'm gonna get a case back
Interesting
then.
you bring
Really?
that
Yep.
up.
Are you the guy who said the San Antonio Spurs won't make the playoffs? Are you that guy?
No.
What's
no.
the
you
score of
sure?
the series?
No, what you tried to do is get because once I looked at it and saw the Kings backpedaling and I saw the Lakers
no,
already.
you said it first. I didn't say a word. You brought it up.
I was hoping you
I
guys.
said, please. I told you I'd bet you 100 cases of Diet Dew they make the playoffs.
I wanted you guys to be in the
Okay.
8th spot. And
Okay.
You know why?
Well, but we're in the 7th spot,
Yes.
and it's 1-0 San Antonio, and that's all I need to say.
Well, if you'd go tell me Jokic was gonna lay an egg, I would
so it's his fault, huh?
say, Skip. He's an MVP candidate. Took 9 shots. Stop.
All
But
I
that's
need
okay.
to-
Your day coming
I'm
tonight.
going to tell you, Jakob Pertl.
Your night.
You ever heard that name?
Your night.
Jakob Pertl.
And,
Go
and,
look him
and
up.
then White flushing on Millsap.
Did he? Can he not leap?
I didn't see that coming. It's still boring. That was the highlight. That was the highlight of the game.
I'm happy you're happy, Skip.
I told you. How many times have I said Derek White this year on the show?
Come on. Well, we're gonna run it back then tonight.
Yeah.
For a case.
It's a long way to go, Jenny. I'm not gloating. I'm
I
just
know.
saying it's
You
1
are
to
gloating.
nothing.
Stop.
1 to nothing.
I want you to stop saying
Next.
you're not gloating.
Gotta start somewhere. No mercy. We're moving to that team in LA not playing anymore. The Lakers are looking for a new head coach after they mutually decided to part ways with Luke Walton on Friday. ESPN reports the Lakers have 3 interviews scheduled this week. They are with former Cavs coach Ty Lue, Miami assistant Juwan Howard, who, by the way, won 2 titles with LeBron, and Sixers assistant Monty Williams. So, Shannon,
Yes.
who is the best fit?
I believe it would be T. Lue because he has the most experience with LeBron. He coached him for he was on the staff the first year. He wasn't the head coach, but for 3 years, he was his head coach. They won the title and went to the finals the last 2 years. So I think he has the most familiarity with LeBron. I think he understands LeBron the most. And I think LeBron understands T. Lue and what the expectations. This is the hardest coaching job in America for the simple fact of who you're coaching and what the expectations are every single game, every single year. And I don't know why T. Lue would want to sign up for this, considering
I don't either.
That's the part I'm wondering about.
he had so much acid reflux, and then he ended up having to take a week or two off, Skip, because the pressure of what comes along with coaching this young man. And it's like I said, I don't believe LeBron. I don't believe. I know he's not a bad guy, but the expectations of coaching him and what comes along with him. There are very few players in the history of the game where it was NBA Finals or nothing.
Yep.
Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Michael Jordan, once he finally broke through, that was the expectations. And LeBron James have had those expectations. Very few can say they have expectations of is this or is nothing. And I think T. Lue has done it. I think he has a better understanding of how to deal with the stress and the management of coaching a LeBron James coach team. So I think he would be the best. But although LeBron does have a little familiarity with Monty Williams, having worked with him on the staff at the Olympics when he was under Coach K.
Good point. I agree on Ty Lue, but first I would like to address the possibility, the potential of one Mark Jackson, since we hear him it seems like daily, nightly on ESPN now that the playoffs are in full swing. I'm a big Mark Jackson fan.
So am I.
I know him, and I believe in him, and I believe in his fundamental approach to basketball, and I still believe that the core of these Golden State Warriors was taught by Mark Jackson, and he doesn't get enough credit for what he built that Steve Kerr was able to take to the one more level up.
Jack gonna have to be on air. He's gonna be talking the game, a blowout. He's like, y'all need to give me a call.
Yep.
Somebody needs to give me a call because I can still coach. I didn't forget how to coach. Yes, I've been doing this for 5, 6, 7 years.
Yep.
But at the heart of what I do is coach, and I would like an opportunity.
Okay.
Hey, politic for yourself.
All right. I think Mark Jackson would be very good for LeBron James. I don't believe LeBron would think he's very good for LeBron because Mark Jackson is tough. He's as tough as
he's not old school.
He is very old school. And he's principled, and it's going to be his way. And he wouldn't take any lip from LeBron or any flack or any taking himself in and out of games. He would roll with him just because of his greatness that he's achieved. But the last word would be Mark Jackson's in that relationship, and it could be the best thing that would happen to LeBron.
But if you watch him, Skip, doing the thing of the telecast of the game, and I love to hear him. When I go in and out, he's big on accountability. That's your guy.
True.
You got to get him. You got to rotate. Everybody has responsibilities. Own up to your responsibility. I love that. But Skip, at this juncture of LeBron's career, going into year 17, he's probably going to have a coach that he has some familiarity with.
Okay. So that brings us to Monty Williams. He is a really good man and a very good basketball coach, and he suffered this like mind-blowing tragedy when he lost his wife in a car wreck in Oklahoma City.
Horrible.
But he is highly regarded in the league, and the reason my eyebrows rose when I first saw his name was he did coach Anthony Davis in his first 3 years in the league, and I think Anthony really loves and believes
him.
Believes in him.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it possible that Rich Paul is orchestrating a little bit here because he thinks that they are going to pull off this trade?
And president of basketball operations now in New Orleans is who, Skip? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm saying.
Okay. Well, it could be. You could be right. But to me, would Monty be – he would be probably a little tougher on the team, be a little more old school, than Ty Lue. Ty Lue just kind of goes along for the ride, to me. And that's not all bad. And I thought he did a really good job with LeBron, because it is hard.
Yes.
It's hard coaching the drama around it, because it's just, LeBron thrives off the drama, but sometimes it can take the coach under.
Well, Skip, it gets even harder, because if you think about this. When Bill Fitch or Casey Jones was coaching Larry Bird, they still had other great players.
Yep.
Dennis Johnson was going to be in the Hall of Fame. So was McHale. So was Parrish. Bill Walton was coming off the bench. When you coached these other guys, Magic, you had Kareem. You had Bob McAdoo. You had other great players.
Yep.
But when LeBron, for the most part, Skip, it's like LeBron. He's a one-man band. It would be like, rest his soul, John Lennon all of a sudden go into a spot and he just got, okay, come on, I'm gonna do this gig, and I need some guys.
He did okay by himself, though. He actually.
I mean, it was the Beatles. Oh, so now John Lennon was bigger than the Beatles.
I didn't say
That's
that.
what you just said.
But he and Paul both did pretty well solo. Pretty well.
No.
Go ahead. I loved them better together. I agree.
Oh, and some people go better together.
Okay.
But I just think because T. Lue, the 4-year history that they have, what they were able to accomplish, I think he's able to communicate with LeBron in such a way.
He is. I agree.
That LeBron respects it, because and at the end of the day, Skip, I get it. LeBron is who LeBron James is, but you still have to hold him accountable.
Yep.
And I don't think LeBron has a problem with that. He knows when he's wrong, and sometimes he knows it. But I'm just going to make sure, hey, bro. And T. Lue has that type of relationship. He's always going to respect the guy that played the game, and if the guy has a championship, That's why, even though Pop didn't play, Pop got them titles.
Yep.
Pop commands respect.
Yep. And he was in the military, and I think they're kind of afraid of him.
Yeah.
So Ty Lue made one strategic call last year that really impressed me, because I didn't know you could do this with a LeBron-driven team. But remember against Toronto when LeBron did make the walk-off shot?
Yeah.
What happened? Ty Lue said, no, we don't want to call a timeout and take the ball out at half court. I want you to get a running start.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
So they took it out from end to end. And LeBron got a running start. It was on Noonaby.
At Noonaby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just a rookie. But then, of course, LeBron was actually not trying to bank it.
Yeah, it was.
He
Oh,
was
yeah,
trying to bank
yeah,
it.
yeah, the bank.
Accidentally ticked the side of the
The
backboard
bank's up.
because he got too deep.
Yeah. When you got that kind of bread, the bank don't never close. Bank's always open. And he don't need ATM.
Even if you don't aim at the bank.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
he can go right now, 4 a.m. in the morning.
Really?
Call the president of the bank and they'll open it up for him.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's interesting, because there was that little anecdote in Brian Windhorst's new book about LeBron in the weight room, and LeBron wouldn't even pay for Pandora that doesn't have commercials.
No way.
Yeah.
I
So
missed
Kuzma
that.
was saying we don't want LeBron to get the call in the weight room, because he'll put Pandora on with commercials.
You can't handle the commercials.
You can't have the commercials on Pandora.
Why not?
So I guess LeBron is frugal to a fault.
No, Skip.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I don't even want the
My financial guy told me something very, very long ago when he asked me where I see myself in 20 years. I said, I would like to maintain my standard of living that I have currently.
Yeah.
And he says, this is what you have to do. He said, well, son, the most important thing to you is not how much money you make, it's how much you keep.
Aha.
So it's the little thing that adds up, Jenny. You know what I'm saying?
Well.
That's why I don't be buying all them Louis Vuitton bags like somebody
You?
else I know.
What? You have a different bag
Every day?
Whoa, Skip, that's unnecessary.
No, every hour he does.
Show it off on social
That's
media.
Skip.
Ah.
You and I have.
We're not even throwing him under the bus here.
Okay, but I say.
Do I hear hypocritical coming from across the table?
Well, LeBron don't like to spend. LeBron's on vacation right now, having him a good old time.
Is
Him
he?
and some- yeah, him and the man over there probably have a couple of daiquiris right now.
Really? I thought he'd be studying those scripts.
He already know him.
He already
he already knows.
memorized them?
Yeah, he had this script.
Because
He had the script
gonna
like
have to
years in
go-
advance.
He's going to have to go solo in
He
this
ain't got to go
movie.
to something. You like that. You know what, Skip Haley? You get a big old kick that none of the big time guys seem to want to participate.
Well, they can hire extras to be basketball
There'll
players.
be no extra.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to get Yao, we'll get Shaq.
Yeah?
I'm gonna play Bill Murray's part, so we good.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You?
You'd be a great fit, Shannon.
Don't tell nobody.
I'm
I would
trying to
definitely
imagine you
watch
in
that.
Caddyshack, actually, but I don't, it doesn't work.
No. Just this role right
Okay,
here.
all right.
But that's okay. It's gonna happen.
okay.
So who you?
Ty Lue. Ty Lue. It's
He's
got to
your
be
pick?
Ty Lue. Yep.
But even with the pressure of coaching the Lakers and everything he dealt with in the past, he
You
can
just
handle
have
it.
to take a deep breath and go along for a great ride.
Yeah.
Right?
He on medicine now. I mean, he got They got heart medicine. You just take your blood pressure medicine and eat healthy. You got to get out here to let that pork go. He was eating pork chops.
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah, I know he was.
Oh, it looked like he was.
Yeah, so now you don't slim down.
You can give him some advice about adjusting to LA living. I think he'll be just fine.
He'll be all right.
We'll have to wait and see. What about this, though? Has Russell Wilson played his last game in Seattle? This is getting real interesting, and we will give you all the details next.
No mercy.
And the clock is ticking on a new Russell Wilson deal in Seattle. Today was reportedly the deadline to get a deal done. And Peter King wrote this morning that Wilson's camp told GM John Snyder that a deal has to be done now or not at all. Meanwhile, Pro Football Talk reports the Seahawks think Russ wants to play elsewhere, even if he hasn't said it. The Giants have been a rumored destination, and Chiefs DB Tyrann Mathieu tweeted over the weekend, quote, "Russ wants New York." Shannon, how will this play out?
I know I go play out. That's why we put the deadline on you, Skip, baby.
Oh, now you're a wee with
Say.
him.
You know the deadline. April 15th, what's the date? What needs to be post-dated by midnight tonight in order to take
Don't
effect?
ask me. You asked yourself.
Wait. Oh, I sent
Are
him
you up to date?
Oh, no.
You filed for an extension already?
No, I ain't filed for nothing.
Okay.
I wrote him a little note.
Did you?
You know what I told
What'd
him?
you write?
Leave me alone?
I say put my taxes on a running account. If I don't run up and pay you, don't run up and ask me about it.
Oh, really?
That's what I told them, and we'll see
You
what
know
happens.
what? They don't play.
No.
I don't play.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Be careful.
Russell, look, Skip, I told y'all,
Yeah.
see, that's his wife, Sierra. She don't like
Oh,
Seattle.
C don't-
OC don't like
C don't like
What
C?
is there
No,
not to
she don't
about
like it.
Seattle?
Huh?
What is there not to like about Seattle?
You want to move to Seattle?
I love Seattle.
I
So
know,
do I.
but
I second that emotion.
I love Seattle.
I love it too. I love the fish market. I went to the fish market a couple times to see
great.
all that. The best.
It's just beautiful. It's a little
amazing.
gloomy occasionally. It sprinkles a little
over
bit every day. but
Sierra,
that's okay.
hold on. Sierra trying to do big things, and she can't really do what she need to do up in Seattle. It's
Well,
such a long way, and she won't.
With the wrong man.
No, she with the right man. I love them. That's a happy couple. I sure wish I could find me somebody to look at me like Sierra be looking at Russ
that
and
is
vice
a good
versa.
point. I would
But
agree
anyway,
with that.
Skip, look, it appears to me, and it's been reported that what he wants now, he's asking for a poison pill. He wants to be a percentage of the cap. So we know what happens, Skip, with the cap. It goes up every year because normally when you sign a contract, somebody's going to come behind you and
Yep.
sign a bigger contract. He says as the cap escalates,
Yep.
I'm going to need my pay to escalate. So in other words, for the people at home, the poison pill is I'm going to put something in there that I know if you swallow it,
Yep.
it's going to do harm to you.
Okay.
So either you let me go or you do what I need you to do. Now, Giants, if you're smart, I give Seattle Eli in a first rounder to get Russ.
Give him Eli?
And I give on lie. Yeah.
So they would take lie off your hands?
Yep.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
a great deal.
You know, hey, basketball, Skip, though, sometimes you give a
Yeah,
first round
yeah, I
pick
know, yeah.
and a guy for salary cap,
I know.
salary dump. So that's what I would do.
That
with
would
Eli.
be a big salary dump.
That's what I would be willing to do. But Skip, he's looking at it like, if I'm your guy, how do we get here? You know, normally, Skip, guys that perform well,
Yep.
and Russ has performed well, they don't get to the last year of these, not the quarterbacks, Skip. Now, we see other positions, D lineman, offensive lineman, they get into the last year of the contract, okay, boom. But not this guy. Russ will be 31 in November.
Okay.
Russ got 5-6 years left in that body. And for someone who throws the ball so few times, to put up the pass and touchdown numbers lets you know that he's very good. But I believe in 2020, Russ going to be playing somewhere else.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
2020.
In 2020.
So not this year, but the
Yeah,
following
because
year.
it's hard for me if they had gotten off of Eli. Maybe the Giants know something that we don't because they don't seem overly interested in
Yep.
maybe they're going to look at Haskins at 17 or later down the line
Okay.
and not 6. They haven't made the trade for Josh Rosen, so maybe they got something brewing that we don't know about. But he gave him an ultimatum, and that's one thing I know about ultimatum. I'm an ultimatum type of guy too. When somebody says, Shannon, do this or else, I always choose else.
Really?
Because of what you gonna do. I'm gonna put you to the test. If I'm Seattle, put him to the test and see if he's real about this. He already said, now, if you don't give me my money, I ain't signing.
So my first question is, How does Tyrann Mathieu know what's going on
Curious
here?
about
Like,
that, too.
what your connection is? What? I don't know.
They both light skinned.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that one, but I do not think they're related.
I don't think so either.
No.
And I don't think Tyrann really knows what Russ is actually thinking.
I don't either. I think he's just sort of shooting from the Twitter lip on that one, and maybe.
But
it's
why
true.
New York? Of all the places, New York, they make it seem like New York is the only place that play football.
But it's because of Sierra.
So now see.
Well, I get it, but I still feel like you can fly from Seattle anywhere you want to be.
Really, that what you want to do?
Yeah.
When you could be right there, live right there? I mean, Skip and I, we could fly to LA anytime, but it's sure a lot better to live here than fly here.
I will buy that.
Good point.
Okay, so your bottom line is, do you believe 1 year from now he will be somewhere else?
Yes, I do.
I do not. I believe he will retire a Seattle Seahawk
Okay.
in about 5 or 6 more years. Because I will remind you, even though he has never missed a game, he has taken more than his share of quarterback punishment. He ran a lot, and it seemed like he was always beat up, but not to the point that he missed.
Yeah.
So I give him high marks for that.
And maybe
'cause
he's upset about that. Maybe he wants a
might
system.
be. But I believe Seattle's between proverbial rock and hard place
Yes.
up there on that coast in Seattle. And the hard place is that Russ has been really good, but not top 5. You know, you can't break the bank for him. You can't say, we have Tom Brady here and we got to figure out how to keep him for the next 5 years. No. Can you make him a deal that would be high quality but not top quarterback money that he would take, 34 million a year
Yeah.
for, say, 5 or 6 years?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, well, that would be done. The problem is the agent is Mark Rogers, who is a baseball
Right.
agent who has only one football client. But his view is skewed by all those capitalist baseball crazy dollars,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That the various Trouts get and,
yes.
and Bryce Harpers get. And it's so much money that he's saying, well, why can't I get my football client that kind of money? Well, it's just a different game.
Right.
And by the way, your client is not Bryce Harper relatively. even
Or
though-
Mike Trout.
Or definitely not Mike Trout.
The best player in his particular
At his
sport.
position, maybe in the history of the game, you
Right.
could make a case for. So Seattle's position has to be, well, we can just keep putting the tag on him every year. And you could put the tag on him for 3 more years, but the 3rd year would cost you $52.4 million, if that projection is correct. I got that out of Peter King's column. So it's going to be in the 30s, and then it's going to go way up because the cap's going to keep going way up.
But that's the thing, Skip.
Okay.
That's what I told you. It goes probably going to be like maybe 33, 36 million, and then 52. That's 88 million right there in 2 years in guaranteed money.
Okay. And
Kirk Cousins got 84 fully guaranteed. Let me ask you a question.
Yep.
If I give you a choice, you could have Kirk Cousins or you could have Russell Wilson. Which one you choosing?
Russell Wilson every day and every night.
Okay, so the bottom line
Okay,
is
but that's Minnesota's fault. That's not my fault.
No.
But okay,
Definitely
you got Matthew Stafford, they got all that guaranteed
Yep.
money. You got a lot of guys, they got a lot of guaranteed money that Russell Wilson is better than. And he's looking around like, and these guys got deals, except with the exception of Cousins, they got deals, they got extended before their final year. He said, y'all make me wait. And when has Matthew Stafford won a division? When has he been to a Super Bowl? Well, I've won the division several times, and I've been to 2 Super Bowls.
He has.
And y'all making me wait. And my wife, we like going places. They say, oh, they're a cute couple.
No, I
And
got
she
it.
says, I want to be in New York. And Skip, now we know that wives play a
They do.
major role.
You never know how big a role, because I don't know exactly what goes on in that household, but depending on how much clout she has.
You got a lot of clout.
Okay, well, I don't know that.
She said, Seattle, I need you to level up.
Okay, well.
And if they don't level up, we're going to take our shit.
I know, but what you're talking about, money can't buy. Like, you can't buy her happiness being stuck in Seattle.
What I'm saying,
Okay.
but see, this is what I do.
Well, then it's not about money, it's about locale.
Yes,
Okay?
yes. But, Skip, you know what? You can't buy my happiness. But if you give me $200 million, you can rent it for about 4 or 5 years. You can rent it. Yeah, you can do that. You ain't know that? Oh, yeah, they rent anything here.
4 or 5 years is a long time.
Yeah, for $200 million?
Rent.
For $200 million, that ain't no time. Because guess what, Skip? Guess what's going to happen? Time's going to go by anyway. See, everybody talking about, it's going to, no. Time will pass regardless. So if you're going to make it worth my while, time pass. I'm making $40 million a year. Sierra, baby, I'm sorry. Here, come on.
You'll be just fine.
You'll be just fine. Hey, you know what I got?
That's the case.
I'll come home one day, 30 carry. That's what I did for understanding.
Now he's giving gifts. Are you in the inner circle? I feel like you know a lot about these.
That's how you do it. I mean,
That's how you do it? That's why you've had so many issues.
Whoa, no, to keep them happy.
You can't do that.
You got to keep mama happy. She don't want to be there. Now she say, well, I'm going to live in New York while you live in Seattle. What kind of relationship is that?
Yep.
But you give her 30 carats.
All I know, I can't keep my mama happy by buying her stuff. I can't. I just can't.
No, you just let
You can try and try.
You can try,
and it
that's
won't
not
work.
gonna do it.
It's got to be way more than, I'll take that.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's doing everything he possibly can, but the alternative is, babe, they're not gonna let me out.
Yep.
So this is what we're gonna make the best of a bad situation.
Yep.
She's like, okay, Russ. Then he come home one day, babe.
Okay. Pre her, to me, he was Seattle through and through.
Yes.
And I still believe, push to shove, I know they got the April 15th deadline, which is unfortunate because the pride's going to get out of whack here, either team or him. Somebody's going to have to eat some crow here, right? But all I know about Russell Wilson was he was like born to play quarterback for the Seahawks. He represented...
He's the 12th man.
He was the 12th man.
Yes.
And I know they won in large part with the Legion of Boom, but their whole offense was him.
Yes.
For better or for worse.
Yes.
It wasn't an explosive offense, but it worked.
But you know what, Skip? Let me rephrase this because I know I don't want Fox and FS1 to get these things. This could also be Russell's decision because what we're saying here is that Sierra might wants to move to New York. Oh, so now the woman Russ wants to do this. It's the woman's fault. This could be a joint collaborative issue where both wants to be out. But I'm just saying, dealing with her career, she would probably like to be in Cali or New York.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So
I don't think you said anything wrong there. It's just the fact that, she could get to those places.
No. She don't want to get there. She said, I want to be there.
By the way, the flight from Seattle to LA is like 3 hours?
That's too long. That's too long. I want to live here. All the rain. It's rain. It's gloomy.
I think it's beautiful.
You know how good it is.
Yeah, we got the water. Look, I like the water too. I like a shower. That's the only water I want. I ain't moving close to the water.
Here's the thing. Seahawks, their offseason workouts start today.
Russ ain't coming.
He was expected to be there.
Now, expect not to see me.
We might not see him for a little bit
No.
until this gets figured out.
No,
So,
not coming.
just for the record, I take gifts. Gifts would work.
Yeah,
for me.
see, what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah, gifts work.
Gifts work.
Gifts work. I'm
Gifts-
telling you, they work.
Okay.
Trust me, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
I've been around a little longer than both of you combined.
Hey, temporary. I'm saying, Skip. I'm not saying long term. It'll buy peace for about 24 to 48 hours.
And another
do
gift.
that.
Yeah,
and then we'll go back.
I'll buy
and then
that.
Don't think I didn't forget.
Guys, we got to go back to Tiger Woods. No more gifts. He went from the lowest of lows to American hero. We're going to discuss that with Rob Parker. I'm looking forward to see
ready.
what he has to say next.
No mercy.
Tiger Woods is a major champion once again after he won his 5th Masters yesterday. It was his first major win since 2008 and also the first time he's come from behind in the final round. Here's Tiger on his historic win.
Just unreal, to be honest with you. It's, just the whole tournament has meant so much to me over the years. Coming here in 95 for the first time and be able to play as an amateur, winning in 97, and then come full circle 22 years later, be able to do it again. There were so many different scenarios that could have transpired on that back nine. There were so many guys who had a chance to win. Leaderboard was absolutely packed, and everyone was playing well. So you couldn't have had more drama than what we all had out there. And now I know why I'm balding. This stuff is hard.
Rob Parker is with us this morning.
What's happening? Good morning.
Good to have you. So, Rob, here's the thing. You have been critical of Tiger in the past. Did his performance yesterday change anything for you?
I know everybody's caught up in the euphoria of him winning and whatnot, but not much has changed for me.
Okay.
Because I have a history, and Skip,
Yep.
we've gone
Know
through
it well.
this. Okay? I spent my honeymoon in Tokyo, Japan, watching Tiger win in 1997.
Yep.
Should have been paying attention to my wife.
Yeah, you should have.
You should have been buying her gifts.
But
That's
and
okay.
wound up costing me a marriage. But that's what I did. That's how powerful it was.
It was.
Okay?
I think we all went through the same sort of thing watching in '97.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was in total. He destroyed the course.
He
I
did.
just remember watching. I was in awe. But then he went on Oprah Winfrey's show.
Just a few weeks later, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was, I'm watching in disbelief. He said he was offended that people would call him black. Offended. I mean, you look at this. I know he's mixed, and there's nothing wrong with honoring his mom's heritage as well.
And on that show, he said for the first time, I came up with a name in my childhood, Kabla Nation, because he's part Caucasian, black, Indian, Asian.
Skip.
Go ahead.
And that just bothered
Okay,
me.
all right.
He made up this thing, and you know what? I always said, if he was outside of some Caucasian woman's house at 3 o'clock in the morning, and she picked up the phone to say somebody was out there, she wouldn't use the term, what is it?
Combination.
Combination. She'd say, there's a black guy out at my window.
Yeah.
Those are facts.
That is a fact.
Okay, so my only point is, you don't consider yourself black even though you're skinned. Barack Obama, his mom was white. He's just as much white, Skip, as he is black. What do you consider himself? The first black president.
Sure.
Okay, so after that kind of took place, I said, I'm good with Tiger Woods. Took all of my golf stuff, my hats, my Tiger Woods shirts, which are really good stuff, put it in a box and took it to the Salvation Army. I was out. I was out from that point on.
So yesterday.
And then
Yeah.
when you go to the golf part, I became, because of what happened, a scandal, and then he couldn't win. He couldn't win for a long time.
Right.
11 years he hadn't won a major, and what is it, 5 or 6 years?
14 since the Augusta.
Right,
Yeah.
but he hadn't won an event, regular PGA event.
Right.
So I was out. He became embarrassing to me. He became unwatchable. Yes, is that a great story yesterday? Absolutely. It
was.
I would be lying to sit here and tell you it wasn't. Because when you haven't won and you've gone through what he went through, it was amazing.
Right.
And in that picture of him hugging his son, you know, if you don't get goosebumps, you're dead.
Right.
I don't even know.
Good point.
You're not human.
Yep.
So all that.
Almost like his dad hugging him.
Yes.
After the first.
And that
so
was
now we got-
97,
yes,
right?
and
So
now we got
it all played back.
20 years later. 20 years
And
later.
you know, the whole notion of, well, he's an American hero and all, I can't co-sign that.
Right.
I'm not all the way in on that. Great moment. Happy for him to make his way back with
Right.
all the hard work and everything, the surgeries and all the other stuff he went through. But I'm still not all in on Tiger. I haven't forgotten all the other stuff that went on. Great moment, but I'm still out.
Mr. Sharpe, your take.
Well, I think the thing is, most of us has done a great job of compartmentalizing. Man, that was a great story. That was unbelievable yesterday. But he's still a liar and a cheat. You know, so for me, nothing's changed. I think it's an unbelievable story. But I like Rob. Let me ask you a question. When he got that DUI 2 years ago, what do you think they put on that arrest record? Did they put combination?
What did they put, Skip? What did the cop put down on that?
What did they
chart?
list him as?
I don't know for a fact, but I'm
No,
going to
we
guess you're
saw
right.
it. It was black.
Was it black?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So it changed nothing from the
Right.
perspective of how I view Tiger Woods. I thought he was the GOAT golfer before he won. He didn't need to win another one for me because I had seen enough.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's like, well, he needs to pass Jack. Nah, the dude got 30 more victories, tour victories than Jack.
And even the rate that he won his first, 14, was unbelievable.
And normally when he enters a tournament, he was getting it done. He was getting a bunch of W's. So it didn't change. It's a great story. It didn't change anything for me, Skip. I don't view him any differently than I did before. I didn't view him and even when he had the scandals, that didn't change anything for me. I didn't look at Tiger like that. Everybody wanted, well, he was a American hero and he had this false sense. Look, you don't really know what a person does. That they sold you a bill of goods and you were willing to buy. You wanted to buy those golf clubs, even though you're never going to be able to swing like Tiger. You drank Gatorade, even though you're never going to be like Tiger.
And by the way, ever since, we still have not one African-American golfer rise near the top.
Which is
There's not
unbelievable.
one. Not one. I thought by now there would be 30.
And think about how many of them grabbed a set of golf clubs because he started playing and said, oh, man, and everybody playing golf. And like you said, not one.
Not one. This is deep. This is powerful. And this is a little controversial, but I'm going to go into the deeper water here. So when Tiger won in 1997, my narrative was that young black man has knocked down the gates of a last bastion of Old South racism. And to be fair to the membership of that club, if you look at it hard, about 50% of it comes from New York and California. So don't think they're all just from Augusta, Georgia, or the Old South.
And that's a good point, Skip, because they signed off on it.
But it's what it stood for. And you grew up in South Georgia, a little ways from Augusta, but you know it better than anyone. And I used to cringe even at the very name Masters. It offended me, and I wish they would. I've campaigned for this before, even though I love the golf. It's my favorite golf. How can you not? And as you have pointed out, it gets played every year on the greatest golf course in the world. It does not move like the other events do. But the name Masters, the connotation of that, the plantation connotation was just wrong to me, and I wanted to evolve into 2019 and let that go, but they're not going to let that go because that's what that stands for. It stands for golf to them in the greatest tournament in the world. But then right away I start seeing in my little inner circle, my white friends and my white mother, they fell head over heels for Tiger Woods from day one, and I couldn't process it because they embrace Tiger as theirs too. Like the black community is looking at it one way and the white community is saying, no, we love him. I don't know if it was for, in your eyes, the wrong reason because he was not black enough, right? Because maybe my mother would say, not that she wasn't racist, she didn't have a racist bone in her body, God rest her soul, but still, she just embraced him as a golfer because we'd never seen anything like it before. And to this day, he is the most exciting golfer to watch who ever lived, and it's not even close. That's why golf is still dependent on Tiger Woods, even though he hadn't won a major in 11 years.
11.
And golf still hinges on whether he can play or not, right?
Right.
Okay, so the big picture part, I appreciated your take because you were deeply, truly offended by this. And then yesterday I sit back, and it's in part because he became the all-time sympathetic figure because he paid for yesterday, man.
Oh, yeah.
He paid deep debts. And in the end, I walked away from yesterday thinking he's become the most beloved athlete, not in this country, in the world, because he's a worldwide figure. And because of the scandal, because of all the injuries that should have knocked him completely out of ever playing again, now the world has embraced the new guy, and he is a completely changed man, and it's legit.
Yeah.
He looked different to me yesterday.
Humbled?
He's humbled. I thought almost to a fault before yesterday because I didn't think humbled could win the way he used to win.
Let me ask you a question. If he doesn't go through what he go through in 2009, is he humble?
No.
Maybe not.
And
not at all.
Would he have dominated this game the way no one's? He did anyway.
Right.
But would he have like 5 more green jackets in his? I believe.
I don't know
would
about
have.
green jackets, but he'd had 5 more majors.
I think he'd have 5 more green jackets.
For me, Skip, look, when Tiger won in '97, and I remember watching the tournament, I was excited because I looked at him as being black. Once he did not want to be identified as that, it didn't change. Okay, fine. You ain't invited to the cookout. Cool, do you?
Right.
I don't get it. And then I found myself after 2009, Skip, I found myself rooting for him for one reason. I didn't believe, now maybe if you're married, you have a different view, but I don't believe adultery should have been a death sentence. They made it look like Tiger Woods had ran out there and he went on a mass killing spree. And I was upset about that. And everybody that's listening to this and everybody that's sitting at this table know Tiger Woods was crucified for one single reason. If Elon's name was Ella, it'd have been a different story.
Yep.
And that's what made me upset. So I rooted for him. I wanted him to win every tournament, and if somebody had a lead, I wanted him to double bogey for Tiger to get a chance to win.
All right.
But it didn't change. Do I have to look at him like, I know why you're humble now. He takes pictures. He'll talk to people on the golf course.
He never did.
When he would come, get that camera out of here. And then he had the perfect caddy, Steve Williams, who would grab somebody's camera and throw it away or curse him out. He changed. He didn't.
And even yesterday, to your point, which is right on point, I think you saw the black community respond. They, despite all the other stuff, they see the black skin.
Yes.
And it's a sense of pride.
Okay.
It just is,
Good.
even if he ain't really, you know what I mean, with the community, it's hard to not look at him and not feel prideful.
Yes.
That this guy overcame. We are overcoming people. That's what we've always done. And look at, you said it, he paid the price the last 10, 11 years. It's been hell. And look at where he was yesterday.
The Tiger I knew back in his heyday, his glory days, listen, he was not a nice guy. And I think that actually served him well on the golf course.
Yes.
He crushed people. He bullied golf courses and fields because he had edge to him, and the edge came out after hours at night.
Right.
And once that edge got taken away and he actually went to rehab for sex addiction, I wasn't sure he could ever get the edge back on the golf course.
Right.
That's why yesterday meant so much to me. You overcame that to win that way. And you won the Masters without making a single eagle in 4 rounds. He used to live, with the Eagles.
Right. The par 5 was his thing.
Yeah.
That was his joint.
Come on. You can't win the Masters without making a single eagle, and he did.
Did you shed a tear yesterday, Skip?
No.
I know how much you
I
love
didn't,
golf.
I didn't shed a tear. I kept waiting for Tiger to shed one, and he didn't because I think he thinks this is just the beginning of my new life.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm going to keep dominating in a new way. But just to demonstrate, he used to be such a surly loner. I don't know if people even knew this because he had the Tiger Woods Foundation and the website with all the pictures of him and his wife and
family,
kids.
and that's what people were sold.
That's where my mom lost it.
Right.
It's like, I thought he was such a great husband and father. Well, he's a great father, but husband, not so much, right? But just a quick story. I was on a show, Rob knows it, called Cold Pizza back on ESPN.
New York.
The moderator was Dana Jacobson, now at CBS, and Dana went to do an interview after our show downtown in Manhattan with Tiger, who was promoting some big Nike extravaganza. And at the end of the interview, he said, hey, I'm my debate partner then, you know him well, Woody Page.
Woody.
And Tiger said, hey, tell Woody hi and tell Skip to F off.
Right.
Okay? That was it.
Sorry.
Tell him to F
Don't mean to
off,
laugh.
okay? And that's who he was. And I had all kinds of run-ins with him and his inner circle. But he was at war with all, not just me, but with all of the media. And then the media honored him on Wednesday night at their annual big golf writers dinner.
Yeah.
They gave him the Ben Hogan Comeback Award for last year. And he was so self-deprecating in his acceptance speech because Brooks Koepka had just gotten the Player of the Year, and they did a big montage video. And Tiger walks up, and there's no montage. Yeah. He says, Brooks got this, and I got Bob Herrig, the ESPN golf writer, introducing me. Right?
I got this.
No, that's all I got. And he's so humble, he's so lovable now that I actually liked Tiger Woods yesterday.
Wow.
He came across as a really new, nice guy.
For me,
and it felt real.
I think for me, having played professional sports and have been around a lot of great guys, I just accept the guy for who he is.
Yep.
He's great at what he does.
Is he?
And then I don't get all of that where he does this, where he's not a great do you, bro? I'm looking at Tiger Woods, the golfer. And we understand, though, the humility that Tiger has today.
He does.
We know where it came from.
Oh,
Right.
We know where it came from.
And we always talk about how people don't change, but you know what? It is a different Tiger we're seeing. And I think that is why people are seeing it in a different way. The lowest of lows to come back this way. And maybe it is just the beginning, Skip. Maybe we'll be talking about Tiger.
Maybe.
From here on out.
And maybe if he wins a couple more majors, you're going to be back. I don't know. You're going to wear a Tiger Woods hat. I don't know.
And it's okay to, it's refreshing to hear that opinion too, because he
just honest.
did do a lot.
I agree.
He
Well, I hadn't heard from my brother in like 2 weeks, and he was blowing me up.
Was
Is
it?
that right?
He's
See?
a big golf fan. He's in Myrtle Beach getting ready. Hootie have the tournament after the Masters.
Yep.
And then my sister, Shannon, I told you. Shannon, I live it. I can't hear you. Calm down. He did. I told you.
See?
There you go.
I call you back.
Okay.
He's polarizing.
Yeah, he is.
To everyone, and that's why we're all talking about him. Rob, appreciate you being here. Always good to get
Always
your
a
take.
pleasure.
Yeah, cost you mad at Tiger because he cost him his marriage.
It cost me my marriage.
Wow. That's deep. That is deep.
How does
I can't
a
help
man
you there,
at his
Rob.
job cost you your marriage? That's what you should have been doing on your job.
I'm not sure it was Tiger's fault. I'm not sure.
That's probably what my ex-wife
We need more time for that discussion. The playoffs just started, but it's already time to panic in Philadelphia. We will discuss next.
No mercy.
Well, Guys, the Sixers were upset at home in Game 1 against the Nets on Saturday. Philly was even booed by the home crowd as the Nets increased their huge lead. But the most talked about moment happened in the fourth when cameras caught Amir Johnson showing something on his cell phone to Joel Embiid on the bench. Johnson did not play in the game, but he was fined by the team for conduct detrimental to the team. And after the game, Embiid said, quote, "I just looked down because his daughter was extremely sick and he was checking on her." So we're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Good to have you with us. I am going to start with Shannon here. How big of a deal is the cell phone incident?
I think it's a big deal for me. I'm a big family guy. And I don't care what the game is, Skip. It could be the Super Bowl, it could be a World Series, it can be an NBA Finals game. If your wife is having a baby or your child is sick or a loved one is sick and you choose to miss that game, you have my blessing.
Okay.
But all I ask, if you're there, you're there. If you're here, because he didn't play, I guess he was inactive. If that's the case, Skip, because my thing is, if you worried about that and you're here, your mind's not in the game. Why not just stay with your family, take care of that situation? When she's better, you come back to us. That's my only problem, and I get it. But for me, the most important thing, and it tells me that you have to have a phone on you, that the situation might be a little dire, you need to be there firsthand. Yep. You don't need to come to this ball game because guess what? They were going to play again tonight, and they're going to play again probably Thursday, Friday night, and they're going to have another game after that. Take care of that business first. That's my only problem that I have with this situation. I don't need to know what's going on with his daughter. That's between him and the organization of the Sixers. Sure. But this was not a very good look. And then you got Joel Embiid involved in the situation. Joel definitely needed to have his mind into the ball game, but I would have just preferred in a situation like this, if your daughter is sick or a loved one is sick, and you're going to bring the phone, which tells me, Skip, your mind is not going to be really focused on this because it's hard to compartmentalize. Some people can do it, but clearly in this situation, he wasn't going to be able to. I just believe he and the Sixers would have been better served had he stayed with his wife or whomever it is and his daughter. I believe he would have been better served, and the Sixers organization would have been better served.
Yeah, I don't really disagree with him. If she's that sick, and I don't think we know exactly the nature of the illness, but yeah, if he would have called off, because obviously, like you said, he was inactive as it was. But I don't think it was that big of a deal. It was wrong. Right. It was a bad look, and Embiid did nothing wrong. He happened to sit next to Amir, and Amir says something. You know, most people are going to look down or whatever. It's a teammate. So I don't think Embiid did anything wrong. Amir was wrong for having his cell phone with him. However, in today's day and age, as bad as it is, I can see a player today thinking, I'm inactive, I can have my phone with me, my daughter's sick, let me check. You know, like it's not that big of a deal. If you are active and you're going to play, then there's no reason. And again, I don't think he should have had the cell phone anyway.
But that's the thing.
But certainly if you're active.
If he's inactive, why even come?
No, I feel you on that. But I don't know how sick she is. It may not be a huge sickness. Again, we don't know. Either way, you can always have team doctors and people getting word to you as it is. Again, it was wrong. I think the Sixers have handled it perfectly. You fine him. You don't make a huge deal out of it because I don't think it's – if Embiid had a cell phone or Simmons or somebody that's playing, even if it was Amir Johnson and he had been playing, he's active, I think it would have been even worse. But it was bad, but I don't think it was, like, horrible.
How did the team react to this? How did Brett Brown, the coach, react to this?
He was livid.
They didn't give any pass to Amir Johnson. So they probably know the backdrop of this, how sick the daughter is, or not sick. I don't know. I have no idea. But they gave him no pass. And if they had really thought he deserved one, any sympathy here, they would have protected him. And they would have gone to great lengths to explain what the situation was. And they did not. They went right after him right after the game. And Brett Brown was also not happy with Joel Embiid, and I don't think he should have been either. And I disagree with you that he did nothing wrong. You can say he's kind of a victim of it because you can't seem insensitive, but still, you're in the middle of Game 1 of the playoffs, and I've said all year, Joel Embiid is the new beast of the East post LeBron.
Right.
But now you got to live up to it. And I still consider him the leader of that team, which may be the problem with that team, because you have to have enough focus that you wouldn't even acknowledge the cell phone. And I get it. Again, it's hard for us to talk about because we don't know how.
It's instinctive.
Okay,
you know
but
what I mean?
I know one guy who used to be the Beast of the East up in Chicago, and if you'd tried that stunt on him during a playoff game, you would have had hell to pay, and it wouldn't matter how sick your daughter was, to your point, then go home. Go be with her. That's fine, but you can't be distracting the star player, nor can he acknowledge during the fourth quarter. It's just such a bad look. It's part and parcel of what's wrong with this basketball team. There's something missing at the heart of this team, the desire, the commitment, the sacrifice you have to make to win championships. They're not showing it to me. They're better than Brooklyn. And I know Brooklyn's a really good basketball team, and Brooklyn has a bench that Philly no longer has. And I know that Joel has some big knee issue that almost cost him the start in that game. And so I'm not sure how bad it is. But that still doesn't preclude what happened on the bench. You just can't do it on either. He was part of what happened.
And that's my only thing, Chris. I have no problem if someone is having. I've heard people say, I don't care if my wife's having a baby, if it's the Super Bowl, I'm playing, or if it's the World Series or yada yada, I'm playing. Okay, that's you. You and your wife make that decision that you're going to be there or you're not going to be there. I got no problem either way. But all I ask is that you do is that when you be here, you be present. And being present means I need your undivided attention. Now, if what's going on back home is more than you can handle and you're not going to be able to focus on the job at hand, I would prefer you stay at home. That's all.
I get it, but again, I don't think that had any impact on Embiid. I don't think that had anything to do with the way he played. And Amir didn't play. So I agree it was wrong, but they got far worse problems than that.
Well, Ben Simmons needs to play better.
Right, where I agree with you,
Skip. At all,
where I agree with you is this does get to the heart, even though I don't think Embiid did anything wrong, it gets to the heart. Embiid and Simmons are not mature enough yet to lead them deep in the playoffs.
Right.
It's as simple as that. Embiid's just a silly, happy-go-lucky. He's just not ready yet.
I got it.
And Simmons, I mean, you saw everything. We can talk about his play on the court, but the comments he made afterwards about the fans.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, stay on that side. Ben Simmons, and I've sat on here and I've praised him. I feel kind of crazy now I compared him to Magic Johnson early in his career. He has become a liability to them.
Yeah.
Because offensively, it's 4-on-5.
Yeah.
Period.
He can only lay
Unless
it up
he's
or
in
dunk.
the post.
Yes.
And then when you put him in the post, that forces Embiid
away.
for spacing to go outside. And now I got Embiid taking 5 3-pointers and going 0 for 5.
0 for
Some
5.
of it's Embiid's fault. I agree. He wants to go out there.
He loves to hang
But
around
at
the
the
three.
same time, for spacing, they kind of have to get the big out of there because Simmons is down
Right.
there. So they got some serious issues. I think they'll still win this series, but they can't guard Brooklyn's guards.
No.
Simmons and Redick can't stay in front of them. And you saw Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, and D'Angelo Russell had field days.
The first two guys you named came off the bench.
Right. And they made the 5th most three-pointers per game in the season. So when they penetrate, if you don't stop them, they're kicking out. This could go 7.
Oh, yeah. And Embiid is injured, and he almost not missed the game. They're not beating Brooklyn with a 50% Joel Embiid.
I agree.
Because Ben Simmons, as you mentioned, he's not mature enough. Look, they keep on talking about, he can develop a jump shot. Well, he needs to get on it.
Yeah.
Because right now he's a liability on the offensive end, Skip, because anything outside of 8 feet, he ain't making.
What did we see?
He ain't even take it.
What did we see in his 1 year at LSU when he obviously did not want to be there for that 1 year, coming from Australia, saying, I have to go here to Baton Rouge for 1 year before I can play the real basketball?
You gotta do it.
But he was not invested. He was not committed. He had low motor. And I kept saying on TV, is that the real guy, or will he take it up a notch when he becomes a pro basketball player? And I don't see the motor run hot. I don't see the killer will in him that you need. He's got star ability in him, obviously, because he's got the passing gift, and how tall do we say he is?
6'10".
6'10".
Okay, all right.
He can do everything except shoot.
Except shoot.
Well, that kind of hard. That's like a
today's
pitcher.
NBA,
Man, that pitcher, that joke can do everything but pitch. Right. But you a pitcher.
20 years ago, certainly in the 80s, that would have been okay.
Yes.
Maybe. Today's NBA, you can't.
No.
There's no way.
Well, he does have some Magic potential, but Magic taught himself
how to
shoot
shoot
fast.
Magic was a decent set. He had that set shot.
Yeah, the push shot. But that's the thing, Skip. You talk about LeBron needing to shoot 1,000 free throws. Ben Simmons needs to shoot 1,000 shots a day.
A day.
No question.
And then, I hate to say this, people laugh at this, but you know who they miss the most on this team? They miss Bellinelli and Ilyasova because coming off the bench, and they would come out and they were fearless, tough, mentally tough guys who would change the flow of the game.
Right.
Now they got Mike Scott coming off the bench, and I've just never loved him. He goes 1 for 8 from 3. Okay,
but Skip, you can't have your 2 starters. J.J. Redick scored 5 points and Ben Simmons scored 9. That's 14.
You're going to lose.
And when you get guys like coming off their bench and they getting almost 60 points from their bench, you got no chance.
Also, Brett Brown, he could be out after this.
Hey, I was saying that yesterday.
Right.
He is on the hottest of seats. And if this goes south in this series, he's gone.
Oh, yeah, he'll definitely go. And if they lose the next series, if they get there, that's probably not enough either. Yeah. He gets out coached when they face tacticians.
Yes.
That's why I said on this show, there's no way they'll beat Boston. There is absolutely, they won't face them until they get to the conference finals if that happens. But a team, and then Kenny Atkinson is a similar to a Brad Stevens. He got these guys overachieving. They play as hard as anybody in the league, and they're tactical. And that's the type of coach, you see it. I mean, Brett, he hasn't figured out, how am I getting Tobias Harris involved? He didn't run any plays for Tobias Harris. Get him involved. That guy can score. I think they expect Harris and Redick to just play off the other guys. And that's, you got to come up with some better schemes.
Tonight is the biggest game of Brett Brown's career.
Oh, yeah, you go down 0-2, it's over. If they go down 0-2, it's over. If they go down 0-2, Chris, it's over.
Because I don't think they got the heart to come back.
I agree.
Well, I think it might go, if Philly wins tonight, it still might go 7, and the Sixers might win it.
It feels like they shouldn't be figuring out
think it's
this
going
stuff
forward
right now. Well, they got to make a change quick. I don't know. Either way, big game. Let's talk about the Lakers' future.
Yep.
Who should be LeBron's new head coach?
I think I should
we'll
be
discuss.
an assistant.
Of course you do. We'll tell you that.
No mercy.
Let's get to the Lakers. They're looking for a new head coach after they mutually decided to part ways with Luke Walton on Friday. ESPN reports the Lakers have 3 interviews scheduled this week. They are with former Cavs coach Ty Lue, Miami assistant Juwan Howard, who won 2 titles with LeBron, and Sixers assistant Monty Williams. So, Chris Broussard is still with us, and I will start with you, Chris. Who is the best fit to coach the Lakers?
Well, first of all, I don't like the way they're doing this.
No?
This seems to say Rob Pelinka is the guy, right? And we said last week how Magic wanted him out, and that's who Jeannie wouldn't let him get rid of because of his relationship with Kobe. But even if Pelinka's your guy, I would rather them get either the president, who's going to be above Pelinka, or the GM, who's going to work with him to help with this process. I don't think you should go out and get the coach first without having your front office completely solidified.
Right.
Number one, that's
a really good point.
who should be in there? Because now it's just Pelinka, and I know he's got other people that work there, but it's essentially just Pelinka making this decision without another voice that's close to him. Or
time out. So the GM she trusts is not trusted by anybody outside except her. Okay,
that's true.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'm a guy that I had a good relationship with Pelinka. When he's an agent and all that. But you talk to people around the league, they don't trust him. There's agents, other executives, whatever. So there's that. Now, as far as who should be the coach, Ty Lue. I almost think some of this is, let's get Jawan's name out there. Let's do him a favor, interview him. So now he'll get interviewed for other jobs in Cleveland. I think wants to talk to him. Monty Williams is a good coach. I thought he did a good job in Portland. I thought he did a good job in New Orleans. I thought their main problem when he was there was the guys couldn't stay healthy.
Right.
Drew Holiday was hardly ever healthy under Monty Williams.
Still.
So I think these are decent candidates, but here's the thing. You are all in on LeBron James now.
Yes.
You got 2, maybe 3 years where he's at that elite level.
You have got to go all in on whatever it takes. And I'm not saying turn the franchise over to him, but you have to get a coach in here that he's comfortable with. You don't have time to experiment. You don't know if you're getting anybody else. This might be your team.
It might be.
You know, so you don't know if you're getting anybody else. Juwan Howard, he could be great. He could be poor. We don't know, but you know what? I don't have time to figure it out. Right? Monty Williams, we know what he's done. Is he better than Ty Lue? I think he's good, but I don't think he's necessarily better than Ty Lue. And look, with LeBron, there's always some type of suspense and drama. So next year, no matter who's the coach, something's coming. Okay? And if the coach is Monty or Juwan, that leaves it out for others and LeBron to question the coach. If it's Ty Lue, this is your guy. You won a championship with him. We removed the coach off. That's nothing you can be critical of.
And he knows. And Ty Lue knows. Ty Lue said, I got to take my blood pressure medicine. I got to eat healthy.
It's going to be a challenge.
These jokers going to kill me if I don't do what I'm supposed to.
That's right.
Get on the treadmill an hour before practice. They like to kill me up in Cleveland. I believe it's going to be Ty Lue also, Skip, because of the history and the familiarity that which LeBron James shares with Tyronn Lue. Look, Juwan Howard, and I agree with you, Chris, he might be all-time great, but you can't figure it out when you got an all-time great player. A first-year head coach, when it's NBA Finals or bust with a first-year head coach, is that where you're going? I don't think so.
So true.
Monty Williams, LeBron is a little familiar with him because he was on Coach K's staff during the Olympics, and he had a little success. I think they made the playoffs one year under Monty. Didn't they make the playoffs?
Yeah, he's a solid coach.
So I think, but I don't know him like I know Ty Lue. Ty Lue knows me. Ty Lue knows my ways. I think now Ty Lue can grab LeBron and say, Bron, that language, bro, you gotta tighten that body language up, bro. You know, these young guys. You know, Ty Lue like that. Oh, Lue, I mean, he can talk to him, Skip, because the thing is, this is what we know. LeBron respects guys that coach, that played the game, and if they won, wow.
And you know how much of before you go, a bond there is when you've won a championship.
I agree with that.
We know Jordan was like, look, Michael Jordan could play with any coach, but he won with Phil, and he was like, if
I ain't going nowhere. Where I feel, I'm gone.
Kobe was the same way. Right? So
that's how it is with you, Skip. I won with Skip Bayless. I can have it. I don't know. I'm done. If you either Skip retire, I'm done too. I'm out of here, Jenny.
How do you guys feel about me?
I don't know what they're gonna do.
That's the biggest bunch of baloney ever spewed on this show.
With Skip Bayless walk, we're a package deal. We're a package deal. Yeah.
I'm right there with you guys.
Unfortunately, we haven't won anything yet.
We're gonna keep winning though.
Yeah,
we're gonna keep shooting shots.
All right.
Some of them gonna go in.
Question. Are we sure that LeBron wants Ty Lue? Are we sure about that? Because if he gets Ty Lue, quote unquote, then he loses any excuse. Like, you got your coach, LeBron, well, what's wrong now, right? You sure he wants that?
They're never going to give LeBron an excuse anyway because he's LeBron. He's the GOAT. GOAT don't have excuses. Remember what you told me, Skip? Even the injuries, Jenny said that was an excuse. You couldn't.
Phony goats have excuses. And he, okay, you started it, I finished it.
Tell us.
Okay. Ty Lue is the obvious best fit for this position.
Yes.
I think he's the only man alive who could actually maybe handle the drama because he knows it so well. He can condition himself to be ready for it because, as you say, it's not going to come a little bit. It's going to come every night. It just always does. LeBron thrives on it, as you always say. The people around him, sometimes they crumble under the heat and the pressure and all the social media backlash of it. Okay, so that would make the most sense to me, but I'm really intrigued by why Monty Williams' name keeps coming up. And I asked Shannon this, and you've been plugged into the LeBron camp. Is it possible that Rich Paul is pushing for Monty Williams because his other client, AD, might be saying, let me play with him again? Is it possible they think that the skids are greased for this trade to happen in the offseason? That it's going to be Anthony Davis as LeBron's sidekick and co-star, and that he would really flourish under Monty Williams because he played for him for 3 years.
David Griffin, president of operations. Okay, maybe. So maybe he in there now and sliding right on tour, Chris.
Well, he ain't going to do him no favors. I mean, they're going to have to earn Anthony Davis if they get that trade.
Okay, but is it possible that's why his name has come up in this?
Now, I will say this. Before Magic resigned, I was hearing Monty Williams. Magic is a big fan of his.
Okay.
So
I don't know anybody who isn't a big fan.
Right. But yeah, and Magic, I don't think Magic was going to hire him, but he was going to get an interview and all that. So Pelinka and Magic were probably talking. Pelinka's hiring him too.
So allow me to say that when we did this topic on Friday, it appeared to me, and I did not like the fact that it felt like Jeannie was about to dig in and say, no, I'm keeping Luke Walton in spite of what LeBron and his camp want and in spite of what Magic wanted. I'm going to hang on. It's going to be all in the family. I'm going to elevate Kurt Rambis. And to her credit, and I don't know if she just felt public pressure, but she said, no, Luke, I got to let you go. But then to your point, now it's cart before horse, because you need the head person, if there's going to be a head person, to make this call, not Rob Pelinka. This is the worst guy on the phones trying to get somebody to come to L.A., right? So I'm not sure, even though I was pleasantly shocked that she let Luke go, and obviously because I thought the night before it had been reported on ESPN that he was the #1 candidate already for Sacramento, right?
What about tampering? How does a guy have a job and they talk about he's the #1 candidate if he were to lose the job? Skip, he might have walked in and he said, Jenny, what y'all gonna do? He said, because I got something already lined up. And I don't want you guys to leave me hanging, and then the job gets filled while I'm in here hanging. So if you can't guarantee me that I'm gonna come back next year, let's just go ahead. We'll mutually agree to part ways, and I'm going up the road and get me a job.
I think that also made her feel like Luke will be fine. You know, versus
that's true.
We're firing him. He doesn't have a job.
Now it's more years left for the
oh, he's gonna land on it. You know, financially, of course, he'll be fine. But you know what I mean? Like, he's going to get another job. He'll be okay. I can deal with it.
Last name on the list is Mark Jackson. I am a big fan. I still think he doesn't get enough credit for the foundation he laid at Golden State. He taught those kids a lot of what they know about playing basketball, and Steve Kerr was able to walk in and take them up one more level. But, again, he would make LeBron comfortably uncomfortable, while Ty Lue will just make him totally comfortable. And yet, I don't know if LeBron would accept Mark Jackson at this stage and age of his career.
I'm with you. I would love to see Mark Jackson get a chance at this. And now I don't think Mark is still with Clutch, but Clutch represented him for a while. But I think he should get a shot. I've been told he's not going to. Defense, he taught Golden State how to play defense. He put the confidence in Steph and Klay that they could be this great backcourt. And let me throw this out, because everybody, and I don't want to take anything from Steve Kerr, but remember, Steve Kerr was, when he first got hired in Golden State, he was going to start David Lee just like Mark Jackson had been doing. David Lee got hurt. And then Steve Kerr was forced. I know they had conversations in Golden State where Steve was like, I don't know where I'm going to be able to play Draymond, because you had David Lee starting. David Lee gets hurt. He's forced to put Draymond Green in the starting lineup, and the rest is history. Mark Jackson, his offense was not as good as Kerr's. There's no question. But if Mark had still been the coach and Draymond becomes a starter, maybe it's a little different for him. It was the right move for Kerr. But
he stumbled into the death lineup. Remember, they get blowed out. He's like, well, let me just go on and throw Iggy in here.
It was out of desperation. It
was. we might got something here.
Game 4 at Cleveland. It changed everything.
Situations happen. I feel like it's got to be LeBron's call. No more excuses. Who does he want?
We busy right now. We ain't taking no call. We busy.
Busy memorizing lines.
Look, this front office thing is important. It's as important as the coach, because you have to figure out, I don't know if they have enough, we'll see, but to get, David Griffin's going to drive a hard bargain for Anthony Davis. The Lakers may have to finagle some type of 3 or 4 team deal, and who in that front office is capable of doing that right now?
It's a good reminder that everyone needs to be on the same page, though, for this to work, for this to go in the right direction. Always good to have you with us, Chris. Does Tiger really have a chance to catch Jack Nicklaus? Yep. I can't believe I'm saying that. I love it. We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
Tiger Woods won his 15th major yesterday after an epic come-from-behind win at the Masters. He's now 3 majors away from tying Jack Nicklaus for the most all time. But Tiger is 43, and before yesterday, it had been almost 11 years since he last won a major. Let's take a listen to Tiger on Jack's record.
Tiger, do you think Jack should be worried now as far as the 18 majors?
Well, I don't know if he's worried or not. I'm sure he's home and West Palm just chilling and watching.
Shannon, now what shot do you give Tiger to catch Jack?
Skip, I'm going to really try hard not to be a prisoner of the moment.
Yep.
I'm going to say he has a 5% chance. I'm looking at it now. He just played one. He's 43 years of age. So he has an opportunity until he's 50 to play in 31 more majors. 4 year plus the 3 that's left this year.
Okay.
Now, we're asking him to play in all of those because we've seen him miss a couple over the last couple of years. We've also seen him be injured over the last couple of years. So he did something that he hadn't done in 11 years. And so now all of a sudden we believe he's going to be able to do it 3 or 4 more times. I believe he won this course because of his familiarity with this course.
Sure.
It's the same course, yeah, with a few different layouts, Skip, here or there, the playing placements. But it's the only course that's not at a different location every single year.
Yeah.
So I only believe it's going to be a 5% chance that he catches Jack. And I get it. Yesterday was unbelievable, Skip. It's surreal.
It was surreal.
But you're asking him to do that in order to pass Jack, to do that 4 more times. And I don't know. Now, you can't, Skip. The thing is, I said to 50. We saw Tom Watson have the British Open on his club at 59.
All he needed to do was just get it up and down. He wins at 59 years of age.
I don't think anybody's would have broken that record. So now we've seen guys win other, they won 48, 48, 49, won the British Open, something like that. Jack just gets the credit because, okay, he's Jack Nicklaus. But Skip, I'm gonna say 5%. That's all I got. Even though because I'm not going to be a prisoner, I'm not going to let what happened yesterday cloud my judgment because I know what I've seen over the last 10, 12 years.
Okay. I realize this is Tiger Woods overreaction day. And I'm trying to be like you, trying to be a little bit disciplined and conservative the way Tiger played his final 18 holes yesterday. But I'm sorry, I'm going to give him a 51% chance.
Whoa, 51?
And I'll tell you why. Let's look backward. And I wish I'd been more a prisoner of the moment of what he did down the stretch of the majors last year. I'm going to remind you, and I didn't put enough stock in it, but last year at the British Open, through 10 holes on Sunday, he had the lead.
Yes.
Head-to-head with Molinari, and he got even with him yesterday.
Yes.
And I'm going to remind you, he finished second in the PGA at Bellerive last year to Brooks Koepka, and he got even with Brooks Koepka yesterday, but he finished second.
Yeah.
And then you brought it up earlier. Then he finished off his season, and I know it's not the biggest deal in the world, but he won the Tour Championship, the end of the FedEx March.
At Eastlake.
September 23rd. He won it. Well, that should show you, boom, 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 he was set up for what was about to happen yesterday. And then I'm going to make this point again. I kept waiting for him to break down and cry big crocodile tears yesterday. He didn't shed a single tear. And I believe it was because he's thinking, hey, do you people realize I am Tiger Woods still? I'm still that guy.
Right.
And this is a rebirth for me. I'm just getting started here at 43 because Phil Mickelson is going strong at 48.
Right.
Phil Mickelson can still win. Yeah. He was still in the hunt even yesterday early on,
Phil
right?
Congratulate him and then hashtag rematch. He won another one.
Okay, well that's
He'll try.
That was not a good look for either of those guys. Maybe they could take it up another level. I'll tell you what, that rematch would have a little more credibility now.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Skip, you said
okay. So, but you said he knows Augusta like the back of. I said the front of both hands.
Yeah.
We get that. A lot of people know Augusta National, but guess what? The U.S. Open on Fox is going to be played at Pebble Beach. Well, he went to Stanford, and they played Pebble Beach like every other day at Stanford, and he did win the regular tournament, the Pro-Am there, the Bill Murray Invitational, and then he won the U.S. Open. And he didn't just win the U.S. Open, and I was there in 2000. He annihilated the field. It was over the first day when he shot 65. You don't think he knows that golf course? You don't think he's comfortable there? And then I will remind you, in 2002, he went to Bethpage Black and he won with the PGA. Okay, but don't tell me he doesn't know the golf course or feel comfortable. He won the PGA there. Okay?
He probably.
I mean, he won the U.S. Open.
He probably hasn't been back there since then. Jenny, in 2002, how old were you in 2002? Exactly, that's my point.
Okay, but it's not like it's some new layout that doesn't fit his eye. It fits his eye. But he's got some good memory there, some good feel.
It's when you're familiar, you know your way around certain areas. I've been in LA for 3 years. I feel comfortable going some places because I travel that way more frequently.
Maybe.
What you talking about, maybe? Whatever. But anyway, you're a prisoner, Skip, and I never thought I'd see this in you. You have become a prisoner of the moment.
Okay.
You've allowed something that hasn't happened in 11 years to encapsulate you, and now you believe it's going to happen with greater regularity.
That guy yesterday was convincing. That guy has changed completely. That guy showed me new body language that was legit. He did not back into it. He didn't win it by accident. He went out and won the Masters.
So now there's two guys you don't bet against. Tom Brady, and is that what you tell? I want to hear you say it. So it's two guys now that you don't bet against. Tom Brady and Tiger Woods. Is that what you tell?
Once upon a time, I never bet against Tiger Woods.
It's been a
long drought.
I remember that was before the guy that swung a golf club and fell on both knees. That was before him.
The guy before he got his window knocked out with a 9-iron.
Exactly, and hit a fire hydrant. And the one that took a mug shot like this. Yeah, that was before that.
The guy who thought he was in Orange County when he was in Jupiter, Florida, that guy.
I remember those times too.
I know, I got it, but he just looked real to me, and you made the point early. Was there some new Tiger intimidation going on? It's not the way it used to be.
Right.
He can't slay the golf course in the field the way he used to. Again, he made no eagles and won the Masters, but just his mere presence. And I've always said this about Tiger. All those other players know their livelihood hinges on his success because the more he wins, the more money they can all make because it brings golf back into the national spotlight. Trust me on this. They know. And so every once in a while, they're like, well, let Tiger have one. Not that they're not trying, but it's deep down psychologically, they don't want to bury Tiger Woods because it doesn't do them any good.
Well, maybe he's not going to play as many tournaments. He's made that abundantly clear. And he says the ones that I do play, I'll be fully committed to. Maybe he says, you know what? If I can just go into Sunday, and I'm somewhere near that leaderboard, and I start playing.
He knows how.
Maybe.
He knows how. He knows how to control his own emotions. And again, to your point, it's all about injuries. If the back goes out again, you got me. If anything else goes out again, because everything tended to go out in the old days, but if he's recovered from all of the above, if he's learned to manage himself, because he always knew how to eat, he always knew how to lift weights the right way, he lifted the wrong way. He got so big and so muscle-bound.
And he said it, that he and VJ was doing it when he first got it, only he and VJ. But Skip, you remember Saturday? The guy was the security guy was trying to get the crowd back. He comes running and sliding and almost takes him out.
I was afraid we had another Achilles injury.
So let us think about all the things that possibly could have happened. And he won. The guy could have easily tucking him out, and then how is this?
That would have been
the story we're talking about. Tiger Woods is tied for the second, and now he can't finish the final round because he got a bum ankle.
I just think it sets up for him to win one of the next two. And if he does that, then the momentum's going to start building.
Well, then if he wins one of the next two, I might go to 10%.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just need 10 though? That's it? Not 51?
I think there's, Skip, to be honest, I think there's a better chance he gets to 90 tour wins as opposed to
maybe.
You know, Shannon, though, Jack did call into the Golf Channel's post-game
show,
and he kind of believes what you're thinking. He said he's won before. I believed he would win again. He has me shaking in my boots.
Yeah, and it was kind of a tongue-in-cheek, but it wasn't. It was like, and he said before that, he said, gee, do I want him to? No, I don't want him to break my record
Yeah.
because we all want to hang on.
Yeah.
But he was sort of giving a
He
concession
acknowledged
speech.
it.
So in other words, you believe the floodgates are about to be open.
Yeah, I don't know if you can have floodgates at 43, but I think he could. He's got so far to go if he takes care of himself and can manage his back. And it seems like it's working.
Okay.
So you don't want to bet against him?
Nope.
All right.
I'm gonna be cheering for him. But I didn't believe. I didn't. I'd have bet. Like I said, if I bet money, it's my money, so it means something. But I'd have bet money that he wouldn't have won another major.
A couple of goats that you guys don't like to bet against. Well, they had some very interesting congrats to Tiger yesterday. They were a little different,
I wanna
though.
know
We're going to show them to you next.
It better not be you know who.
No mercy.
Tiger's win yesterday. LeBron tweeted this: "I salute you, Tiger Woods, #inspired." And then Tom Brady, well, he posted this famous hangover gif with the caption, "Running the numbers on how long it'll take me to get to 15.
Yep.
You see?
Yep.
Shannon.
Yeah.
You see?
Here we go.
You see what I'm talking about?
Here we go. Here we
One
go.
guy kept the One guy kept the focus on where it should have been.
Yeah.
This was Tiger Woods' moment. This was his time to have praises heaped on him. This was his time to get flowers while he was alive. The other guy comes along, make it about him. Let me see. Let me crunch the numbers. Let me add this up. Now how can I? Ooh, you see, this is what I'm talking about right here. This is why. This is what I'm talking about.
So you're saying you liked LeBron's better?
Yeah, I love LeBron's. Loved it.
Guess what? I agree with you for once.
Wow.
LeBron James did the classier, straightforward, straight-on congratulations, and it was well done. I salute you.
Yes.
3 short words with 6 exclamation points.
Right.
And then #inspired.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
That summed it up for me. And those two share a birthday, obviously, so they have some sort of
December, you know what it is.
I know. Okay.
December 30th.
But this was quite an intersection of all-time greatness
Yes.
because then you got the greatest football player ever, and he's tweeting all through the final round, and at one point he did clutch and then emoji tiger, so I kind of like that one. But when he went Zach Galifianakis, he lost me on that one because I am with you. Why make it about you? That's where Tom Brady got a little carried away with being Tom Brady. And I also believe that he feels a little disrespect because he's won 6 Super Bowls and he still doesn't get the acclaim that even LeBron gets, to me, because there's love-hate for Brady.
Right.
And I think it eats at him that he doesn't get the Tiger kind of love,
Right.
the beloved new Tiger Woods. There's never been a new Tom Brady where the world said, we love you, Tom.
Yeah,
the
because-
world doesn't all love Tom Brady.
Well, golf is individual. It's
Okay,
all
all right.
it's all him. I mean, nothing else. You know, it ain't like his caddy can help him out and hit a shot for him.
Yep.
It's all him. And I don't even want to say nothing. Go ahead, keep talking about Brady, how he made it all about him. I don't even want to talk about it.
Well, again, I think he's saying between the lines, remember me, I have won 6.
You had your moment.
I know. Well, he didn't think he got his moment because, again, it was kind of a letdown because you said it was a terrible game to watch, and you said he was horrible.
That's what the
and-
ratings saw. The
Okay.
ratings said that.
Yeah.
I wonder what the ratings are going to be for this. What do you think the ratings will be for this?
Through every roof ever built. Okay? And the incredible thing about this, it's golf. Nobody really cares about golf. And now people are talking about golf once again who don't even know how to play golf, what the rules are.
You're exactly right. And the thing, what helps, Skip, is that, okay, they got it off first. Now, some people went to church and they had to go to church. But because the weather was bad, they had to stay at home and watch it.
That is true.
And Tiger Woods was in contention from start to finish.
Yep.
So you couldn't go, you couldn't turn.
Couldn't look
So
away.
the irony here is Tom Brady not only plays golf, but I'm told he's pretty good. He doesn't play a lot, but if he played more, he'd be really good. And LeBron James, to me, doesn't play at all.
Don't
Has
play
he
at
ever
all.
even tried to play golf?
No,
I don't
he
think
like
so.
me, but
I
just-
think he might have hit a ball every.
He like me. He doesn't play, but can go out there and beat you.
Let this day
Can we
be
arrange that
remembered.
right now?
Seriously.
Hey, wait a second. I play 1 block from his house. That's where I play golf.
Beat you.
I'll be there. Okay, tell him I'll meet him there for any amount of money today.
No, he'll visit. He on vacation.
Oh, he's on vacation.
Yeah.
I'll play him today for any amount.
We're on vacation.
Any amount.
Find a way to make this happen.
Gonna beat you.
Please.
I love it.
Please.
Do the Clippers have any shot of taking down the Warriors tonight? We'll see. We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day. We've got game 2 at Oracle tonight between the Warriors and Clippers. Steph Curry led the way with 38 in the game 1 blowout win, and Kevin Durant was ejected in the 4th. Golden State is a big favorite tonight. So, Shannon, what shot do you give the Clippers to pull the upset?
0. Zilch. None.
Nada.
Nada. 9. Nonka. Nothing. And I got to go get me a bottle of Dew tomorrow from courtesy of Skip.
One bottle of
That's
Dew.
it. So you make sure you
Just
break
the
it in, and you got 10 points.
I was the bigger man here because I took only 10 points and the spread is 13.5. Unless you want to be the bigger man and give me 13.5,
like to
which
be a
is the
small man.
point spread in Las Vegas.
Small men
No?
doing okay, yeah.
And you
yeah.
realize this is the classic self-defeating prophecy where I talk about how I'm giving the Clippers a shot, and Kevin Durant watches the show and he says, "Oh, watch this.
Yeah.
I'll show you
watch
what kind of a
this.
shot."
Drop a 40 piece on them, KD.
Yeah.
Yep.
Little Patrick Beverley's about 5'8",
Yeah.
right? Trying to guard Kevin Durant.
He actually think he can guard you, KD.
I just have a feeling that the Clippers have enough mental tenacity to hang in. And I'm going to remind you and remind Kevin, the Golden State Warriors lost 6 games at home this year by 20-plus points. Not by double digits, by 20-plus points. All the way up into the 30s, they lost some games. So you never know.
How many of them would have lost to the Clippers?
Well, I don't know. What did I tell you from the start of this year? Clippers will be better than the Lakers, and they were.
That's okay.
Okay? So I believe in Doc. I believe they can win a game, and this would be the one.
I believe in Steph. I believe in KD, Clay,
Well,
and
you
Boogie.
should. Yeah.
And I believe I'm gonna have me a case. I'm gonna have me a
Not
one
a case.
Dew.
You got one bottle, but you already I won the one bottle the first time.
I get it
so
back.
I
I
have
get it
one
back.
to lose.
Get it back.
See,
And
come
then I'm gonna be
prepared
down a couple
tomorrow.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.